J-Real. J-Real. Alright, ¿qué pasa, people? Welcome back to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, J-Real. We are going to get into this really quick because we don't have a lot of time today. This is the Friday edition show. We are going to be talking UFC, and I believe on the line we have Shannon, our UFC expert, holding. Shannon, are you with us?
I'm with you. I'm here.
Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Okay, so let's get into this. This fight was supposed to have happened before, correct?
It was. This has been a fight upcoming for some time now.
Right, and it was kind of something about Nick Diaz not pulling through with his promotional spots and not doing the interviews he was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, he wasn't holding up his end of the deal, and so things kind of got postponed, and so I'm not sure exactly what the deal was, but Nick Diaz wasn't doing his thing, you know what I mean?
Right. So this is actually a pretty big fight, wouldn't you agree?
I think it's a really big fight. I mean, me personally, I cannot believe that they put Nick Diaz with George St. Pierre. I mean, I'm a big Diaz fan. I'm Diaz Brothers fan, but there's no, seriously, this is George St. Pierre. You know what I mean? I can't even believe they put him together.
Okay, but let's just look back in a little bit of history here. When George St. Pierre was injured, they had Carlos Condon, actually right here from Albuquerque. He's one of our neighbors here. He stepped in as interim champion, correct?
That's correct.
And then so they actually had Nick Diaz and Condon fight for that belt that was vacant at one time, just not too long ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been too long ago, yeah.
And didn't that work out to be a pretty good fight?
It was a good fight, and I mean any fight with one of the Diaz brothers, it's going to be a good fight. But again, Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre are completely different fighters. I believe it's probably going to be a good fight, and it's going to be entertaining because it is one of the Diaz brothers. But they're just two different fighters. George St. Pierre is number one. He's a legend right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to put him in with Nick Diaz, who is still kind of a rookie for the most part, I'm just kind of shocked that it's almost like they just threw the fight together like, hey, let's have this fight. You know what I mean? Okay,
so basically you're saying that it's not that it won't be a competitive fight, it's just through the way that they fight their opponents. George St. Pierre is probably set up to be an advantage here, or?
Yeah, I think definitely just because he's a different fighter. He has a lot more advantages than Nick Diaz, because if you look at it, I mean, if you really sit down and you look at their record, and Nick Diaz is quite a bit younger than George St. Pierre, and GSP has so much more experience than Nick Diaz. And in all reality, Nick Diaz is still kind of like a rookie. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with Nick Diaz and the Diaz brothers, they've been fighting forever. It's just they're fairly new in the UFC, where the best are, correct?
Right. I mean, Nate's been in the UFC a heck of a lot longer than Nick has been, and they have been doing the MMA for probably their entire life. But as far as them, Nick being in the UFC, he's just within the last, maybe 5 years. And GSP has been a legend in that time.
Yeah. No. I totally agree. Okay, so let's get your prediction. Do you predict, who do you predict in this fight?
I definitely think GSP is going to win. I've been wrong before, but I really think GSP is going to take this fight. And a lot of that I feel is just because of the type of fighter that he is.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. I would agree with you. Okay. Now let's move on to the undercard main event, I guess you could call it, or whatever. It's Carlos Condit. He was supposed to fight a guy that called him out in a big fight a few months back or maybe a month ago. Roy McDonald. Yeah. So he called out Condit because Condit had really put a beat down on him a while back.
He sure did. Yeah, he did. He got his ass handed to him. So, yeah.
Right, and now Roy McDonald is actually, he's stepping up into his own now, and I remember seeing a fight not too long ago, and it might even have been with you, that this guy looks pretty good now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Roy McDonald is awesome. So, and I'm not sure why he's not taking this fight, coming up on Saturday night. But they will have a rematch, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah,
depending on, why. My guess would be that Rory he got hurt in training or something.
Yes, he did. He got hurt in training.
Yeah, and so there will be a rematch at some point when, provided that Condit wins this upcoming fight. If he doesn't win the upcoming fight, then whoever's fighting Condit this time, he will be the one to fight McDonald next time, more than likely. Yeah, sure, and
it's funny that you mentioned that because replacing Roy McDonald is this guy's a bruiser, Johnny Hendricks.
He's pretty bad, but he's a rookie too to the UFC. He's fairly new to the UFC also, Condit, he's a lot like GSP, and he's been in the UFC for a long time. So, but Hendricks, he's a good fighter, and I think both the co-main event and the main event, they're going to be pretty good fights coming up Saturday night.
Right. So let me get this breakdown on this fight. Condit or Hendricks? Who are you going for? Or who do you think will win?
You know what? I honestly think that probably I'm going for Condit because I'm a huge Condit fan, but I would not be surprised if Hendricks takes this fight on Saturday night.
Well, this is what I think, Shannon, personally. If it goes the distance and it's just, your typical kind of GSP Condit fight where they mix it up a little bit, get on the ground, but ground and pound, I think at the end Condit will win. But if the fight can go just a round or two, I think Johnny Hendricks can knock Condit out.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with it's probably going to only go a round or two, to be totally honest with you, and I really think Hendricks is going to take this fight on Saturday night against Condit.
Well, I agree with that, and so, Shannon, thank you so much for your expertise on the UFC, and we'll get a hold of you as we get closer to the Shell Shonen fight with John Jones Bones.
Yep, that one's coming up, and I can't wait to talk UFC about that one, and I always look forward to your interviews and your phone calls. It's always a blast to be on your show, Jesse.
Hey, real quick, on the lighter side, did you see that article where, what is the young lady that's a champion right now in the UFC again?
Rousey?
Yeah, Rousey. Did you hear she's going to be posing for Playboy?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that, but I'm not surprised because she's a pretty sexy chick.
All right, Shannon, we'll see you later.
All right, take it easy.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
That was Shannon, our UFC expert, just breaking down some of the fights that are this Saturday night on UFC 158. We're really excited. George St. Pierre and Nick Diaz again. Very different fighting styles, but, you never know. Nick Diaz gave Condit a fight, gave him a run for his money, and as we all know, Condit gave George St. Pierre more than he could handle on their championship fight. So this is going to be interesting to see how this turns out. And then again, Condit fighting Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks is a power puncher. He's like a pit bull. If he smells blood, he'll go for a knockout. But it's not going to be easy because Condit is a striker, a mover. You will see this guy's head is always on a swivel. He loves leg kicks. He loves kicking to the livers. This guy, he's the real deal too. So we're going to have a lot of good fights this weekend. That is our UFC. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to jump into possibly NFL or maybe a little NBA first. But right now, J Real says, enjoy this commercial. All right, we're back from the break. Yeah, we really love to have Shannon come in and talk UFC with us. She really knows what she's talking about. But now, moving on, we're just going to cover a little bit of the NBA. Kobe Bryant is down with an ankle injury. Now, everybody's getting on to this guy for supposedly putting his foot underneath the jumper and so on and so on. You know what? It's basketball. People get their ankles rolled and their knees tweaked all the time. He's just going to have to live with it just like anybody else. But what does this do to the Lakers? It does a lot. They are going to be in big trouble going through the last few games here. They have to figure out a way to win if they want to make the playoffs. Now, they are in position to make the playoffs. And I do think with Gasol making a quick comeback, hopefully making a comeback, that they'll be okay to go into the playoffs. But how far will they go? Even with Kobe Bryant, right here at the Average Joe Sports Talk Show, we had him getting blown out in the first round. Now, with Kobe Bryant being out, there's no way in the world that they're going to have a chance to make it in the first round of the playoffs. So, might as well just throw the throne over to the Heat, unless, Oklahoma City has a way to do something. Oklahoma City is the only team, I think, that has a chance, if even at all, to taking out the Miami Heat. So, we hope that Kobe Bryant is okay. We hope he gets better, but it is an indefinite injury, so who knows how long, if he'll ever be back this season. Might be next season. Now, moving on to the NFL. Free agency talk. Steven Jackson is now an Atlanta Falcon. Can you believe that, folks? Steven Jackson, who we had in our top 5 picks for free agency in our last show, is now a Falcon. What does this do for the Falcons? My gosh, they have their tight end and Gonzalez coming back. They have all of these superstars lined up to be just fantastic. This is the problem with Atlanta. This is the whole key to Atlanta. They can have all the success they want. They can have all the stars. They can have all the momentum. The problem is they're going to blow it. I can tell you right now, J Real is predicting right now, the Falcons will be a team to beat next season. They will do very well, but when it comes to the playoffs, they're going to choke it up. I still cannot believe, with a 20-point lead, that they lost to the 49ers. Same thing will happen this next season. They're going to come out, they're going to win 12, 13, 14 games. They'll be ready to run through the playoffs, and then they're going to choke it up to some team that they should just easily beat, and they're not going to make a Super Bowl again, even with bringing on Steven Jackson. You watch this show towards the end of next season when they get beat in the playoffs by a team they have no business losing to. That's our prediction. Okay, now Wes Welker talk. Wes Welker, he's moved over to Denver. Can you believe that? There is no way in the world Denver's not going to be a team to deal with as well. Peyton Manning having a great season coming back from injury with all their receivers, and now you throw Wes Welker in the mix. Oh, my gosh. Denver, my Steelers better watch out because they're going to have a tough time dealing with the Denver Broncos. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll do a wrap-up. We'll finish just a few more things on the NFL free agency, and then we'll let you all get out. All right. Be right back with you.
Oh, wow, the stuff in the players on is so books back there. And the Player Zone will even price your stuff for free. Oh, wow. Player Zone will buy, sell, and trade any of this stuff. And what can I get for her?
Yeah, I was just in the restroom back here, and I snagged Gonzo. He had a 1-2-step combo from our
restroom, right?
Yeah, in the restroom. All right, so we're back from break. Gonzo's with us because he loves talking football. He likes to act like he knows what he's talking about. So we're really excited to have him here. Now, what I just finished talking about, Gonzo, was I was talking about Steven Jackson and the Falcons. I mean, that is amazing.
Well, I think that's a good thing because Michael. What's his name? Michael Turner just bowed out, and so they need a backup for that, or they need somebody to come in and play that. And I think Steve Jackson will fit in real well.
Yeah, no, I do too. I think, and this is what makes me so frustrated with the Falcons is last year was their year. Yeah. Last year was their year. They had the quarterback, they had the line, they had the tight end, they had running. They had it's like they had everything. I mean, they go into the championship game, blow out 49ers in the first half of the game, and then just lie down. So this is my problem with this. Steven Jackson, a beast of a runner. They give back Gonzalez for another year. They're going to be hot, ready to go. I predict they'll go 12-plus on the season for wins. But then it's going to come to the playoffs, and for whatever reason, these Falcons just can't produce in the
but
playoffs.
You're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, it's with any team right now with all the trades and stuff. I mean, these guys. I mean, yeah, they're stacking it up and they're getting back to where they can compete. And I think I think they're gonna be really good this year. And they have a chance just like anybody else in the playoffs.
Right. And then let's go to Wes Welker real quick. I mean, how can the Patriots let Wes Welker go is beyond me. I mean, Tom Brady must be just livid because he took a pay cut to, I'm sure, keep Wes Welker on the team. That's his buddy. That's his go-to guy. And they basically bring in this Danny guy, and he's not even proven. Yeah, he's a younger version of Wes Welker, but he can't stay from being injured.
Right.
So, I mean, I just can't see how they're going to let him go to Denver.
Well, they did, and it's just, that's just the name of the game. I mean, they wanted the money, they paid him the money, and that's just it.
Now, does this make Denver a contender right off the bat?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it puts them going through the playoffs and putting them up there because now, they've got their guy that can take pressure off of Manning. Now they need to look at their running back situation and see what they're going to do with that. Exactly.
But right now I'm going to tell you there are some teams making some moves that are going to be tough next year. I'm scared for my Steelers because Denver, I mean, we got to go through those guys. Of course, we always got to deal with the Patriots. It's like, my gosh, I'm getting nervous, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. My Raiders just stay where they are, so I have no...
Raiders. Nothing else more to say, but God bless him. He said it on TV. Now, the Chiefs have just released the rights to Castle, so he's gone, but update over here.
He just went to the Vikings, and they are still they're in talks now with Greg, I think it's Greg Jennings.
Oh, wow. So Castle is now a Viking.
Yeah, he's a Viking.
Okay, so there we go. Moves. Everybody's getting thrown around, shifted around. I'm sure this show, but before the show even airs tomorrow, that there'll even be more big players gone and going and coming. So we just wanted to break down some of the quick news that we had for you all. We did talk UFC earlier, and I'll fill in Gonzo off camera, but because he loves UFC too. But folks, we just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in today, and we look forward to seeing you next week when we're going to do the full show on breaking down the heat. Gonzo, you're going to join me on that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to get with JV Money, who's sniffing the jocks of those guys right now, and I know he's going to get upset, but we're not drinking the Kool-Aid, and we're going to talk to you guys about it next Tuesday. So, till then, Gonzo, J-Real, we say peace and much love. J-Real. Jay.